Well, we're back, guys. We're going to bring on, we have a very special guest here. We're going to pop on in just a second. Is Mr. Brian Krause. I don't know how, I'm starstruck.
We got Brian Krause.
Hi.
Are you freaking kidding me, man? This is awesome.
I can't believe it.
We were doing interviews yesterday, and all day he's like, I want to talk to Leo. I want to talk to Leo because he's you got to understand something. The charmed fan in this man, it's annoying, but it's beautiful. It really is.
So I may or may not have met this gentleman yesterday.
I was going to make sure
and managed to get away without ever bringing that up. Giant fan I am. So thanks, Mike. I really appreciate it.
I don't care. I was going to say.
Try to play cool, man.
You don't have to be cool.
Yeah, I don't know how to be cool, so that's screw it. What's up, man?
That's cool. That's good.
Yeah, I've been a huge fan of yours for a long time. Sleepwalkers all the way forward.
Oh, man.
Always dug your work. Always, especially was in line with me in school in that era, so it was just radical, dude. Always looked to you as
thanks.
one of those shining stars.
There's no way
just fantastic work.
Get away with that.
Yeah,
I love that.
And it is it's not just charmed. I would say he's a big charmed fan, but he's a big fan.
Yeah, so.
Well, I appreciate it. Being here, and it's so great to be back live with people, and hearing the different stories, everybody, what we've all gone through this last year. I mean, it's nice to be on this side of it, and hopefully we're all still staying safe as we are. I feel blessed to not just be here as a human, but as an actor, and that I've had a career. It's sometimes it blows me away, and to hear you're a fan for a long time, it's like, man, as an actor, I'm always just like, well, I wasn't very good in that. I can't believe I'm still working. I'm really not that good, right? I have no idea what I'm doing. Wow, I got another job. Hey, so it's nice to hear. It's thank you.
Yeah, you're doing good, dude. You're doing great.
That's so crazy for us, because you're a star to us.
Oh yeah,
and you're a star in general. But you're a star to us. We love your work.
Absolutely.
And to see, we think that when we're doing this stuff, we're like,
we
not that good at this.
We're terrible.
We're always saying that.
Oh yeah.
So to hear that you think that too, actually kind of makes me feel a little bit better, human. We do that. I
mean, I'm just a dude, before I started acting, I was valeting cars. I was working in a hotel. I've done construction. I worked in a restaurant. I've had a lot of just outside jobs. So, once I started acting or getting hired, I didn't know what I was doing. I just had ambition and confidence that I could do it. And then I started working with people who went to school for it, and they were good. I'm like, man, I am out of my league here. So it kind of amazes me that I keep working. And then, obviously now I'm like, no, I've studied it. And I feel I'm good at it. Do I feel like I'm amazing at it? No, but it's nice to hear, because I do love what I do. And, I'm reminded of a few stories that I've heard even through this pandemic, and how so many of us have been stuck inside watching Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, Roku, you name it. We've all been absorbing media. And more often, I've been hearing when I go to cons about people, what this show meant to them, what that show meant to them, and how it helped them through a time. It helped them through high school, or it helped them through when their mother died, when they went through a breakup, that sort of thing. I've had people write letters and cry that, and I do the same thing. I watched all of Ozark. I watched, I binge watch shows. I'm an eater of it. When I feel a certain way, I need a certain show to bring me out or lift me up or have me disappear. And, I forget on this side that, I'm part of that disappearing for all of us when we have emotions, things we want to forget or live in a fantasy. And, I guess I'm just reminded that it's nice to be on the side with, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist, but it's nice to give people a little piece of, a little bit of a outside of your normal life, right?
Some kind of opening, something different, entertainment, but also just that escape. We all need that escapism, and you are a massive part of that. I mean, you are what we see, you're what we consume. You know, so as much as you're
it's cool.
consuming Jason Bateman or anyone else,
So
you're
good.
part. He's amazing, but you're also, for me, above that tier because of what you did and the work you did that meant something to me as a young man. So I really appreciate it. So
Thanks.
Say that to your face.
I'll tell you, we do for fun. We do a podcast, us and a friend of ours, about Tales from the Crypt. And you're in one of my favorite episodes of Tales from the Crypt, House of Horrors.
No way.
Which, if anybody, if you have not seen that episode, get out and see it because it's so good. And you're right there. So like you bring, and we're talking about all the stuff. We were watching the trailer for Cypher last night.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
sweet.
We're so amped to watch it.
Yeah.
Because we haven't checked it out yet, but we're like, we're going to watch this.
Yeah, find
really
out it's on
wanted to watch
Roku
it last
channel.
night.
Yeah, it's on Roku.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So Tales from the Crypt, man, I grew up watching that show. So I think I did that. I had only been acting for maybe 3 years. And I'm here to Tales from the Crypt. You know, that's calling all my buddies from high school. Like, you know, like, and I'm working with Will Wheaton, and I'm working with, you know, I went down the list, you know, and they didn't care. It was like Tales from the Crypt, dude. You made it. Yeah, so I was stoked to be a part of that. And then anyway, Cypher, yeah. So that was an independently produced television show that we literally made for no money.
Really?
Well, compared to what you make shows for today, a fraction. And yeah, somehow we made 6 episodes, and Roku's picked us up, and you know, we're hoping to make a season 2. It's a nice crime drama, whodunit, figure it out kind of show, and the only thing I think is missing is a little more action, blow it up. But you know, I think if you like the story and people follow it enough, we'll get a second season and you know, bring in the action.
More money to blow it up.
Oh,
you need money to blow things up, apparently.
Exactly.
So now you're hearing about it. If you guys haven't watched it yet, like Cypher, it's on Roku.
Yeah, check it
and
out.
Roku has been building up their channel. That's very cool. Has been building up their channel, and it's just launched. All of the Quibi shows are on there now, so it's going to be a huge thing. So Cypher,
Yeah.
I can't wait. I hope you guys.
Yeah, and knock on wood. And you know, I'm the good guy, I'm the bad guy. I don't know. You have to find out. Tune in to Roku for Cypher.
I have to ask, kind of going through, you know, like Charmed being such a huge show, and especially it was one of those shows like when CW was very new.
Yeah.
WB.
We were still the frog.
WB,
Yeah,
and
you're
then,
still
like,
frog. Yep.
yeah, very like Buffy's, you know, Charmed was like right there.
Yeah.
I think it started maybe a year after or a year before Buffy. I'm not even sure.
Very similar.
Good year.
97, 98, 99. Those were all the main years.
Yeah, those are big.
That was the big WB years.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. It was just here was one of those.
It was last century.
Buffy was 99. And
This is 98.
I think Charmed was before.
Yeah.
So to usher in, like, you have this new station essentially coming in. Like WB, was there, but CW was something new. What was it like to be on a show that was that huge and that long?
You know, it was interesting because back then it was like, oh, you had Fox, you had ABC, NBC, CBS. You were on the WB.
Yeah.
You hadn't quite made it to big time. You know, you were the little show, the little guy. But you know, here I was with Shannon Doherty, Alyssa Milano, Holly Marie Combs, and Aaron Spelling. You know, who has such a track record. So you knew it was something. But that was kind of the funny thing. We were making it. You know, while we were doing the show, it didn't have. I mean, it had some huge response, but I feel the show has really grown in syndication. Being on TNT, being in DVDs, rerunning on the CW, our audience has expanded. I mean, we were getting maybe 2 to 4 million viewers a week, which are pretty good numbers for the CW, right? It's about what you needed to just stay on the air. So we were like staying on the air, but we were one of the better on the network.
I'd say one of the best.
But you know, when I went outside or I went to the grocery store or wherever I went, I didn't notice it. Right?
You didn't have throngs of fans throwing.
No, but now it's been on TNT, and you know it's been on there for years.
For a bit too. I mean,
Our audience is gone worldwide, and I tell you, I get recognized more after the show finished its run and it's been in syndication than I ever did when it was actually on the air.
Wow. Now, what kind of experience is that like? I mean, to a show that was almost 20 years ago when it kicked off.
Yeah.
I remember when.
Yeah. Casey, I know you know better, but like going to school, people talked about this.
Oh, yeah.
Dawson's Creek, Charmed, Buffy, people talked about
it's amazing
because we were at that age.
Yep.
And one thing for me, I was Leo. I was the guy. The show was about the girls, and I was in one way or another kind of reminded that I'm not the star of the show. Right? It is about the girls. I'm there. I was there to create a reality about it, and ground it. But you got Alyssa Milano and Shannon Doherty. You got the witches. It was about the witches. So
Right.
I never felt like, the publicity wasn't mine to have, being where I was on the show. I wasn't. You didn't say Brian Krause Charmed. It was Alyssa Milano, Shannon Doherty, right? So I knew where I was on it. So I never really felt. I knew I was working, I was making good money, it was out there, but, I didn't feel like I was the star of 24 or, you know what I mean? So I always felt more of a journeyman with it, I'm here, I'm working, I'm number 4, 5, 6 on the call sheet. So,
but I mean, doing that for 8 seasons is pretty strong,
It's strong. I was the backup quarterback on a Super Bowl winning team.
That's
I got the ring.
Still got the ring.
Yeah.
Listen, we've seen Varsity Blues. You know how that works. I gotta say, coming in and you have such a huge body of work, and when you show up, people know who you are. Like when you show up on the show, it's
a little disturbing.
People hear me up. I love it. People know who you are, and that's. I feel like that has always been like the special thing about actors who have that. I don't know that.
Je ne sais quoi.
Je ne sais quoi. Yeah. That status in movies, TV. When they show up, like I don't know, like more than movie stars. Like Tom Hanks, but. You get excited when you see
when I see a Brian Krause, I go, "Oh, snap!
a
Brian Krause got a new
actor,
project. I want to check it out." Like that's
right.
exciting, because you've done such a bang-up job throughout your career. You
No,
have
thanks.
such a fantastic body of work that it is exciting to see what you're doing. That's
I got some stinkers in there. Let's not kid ourselves.
I mean, we've been doing this for 11 years. We've got like 3 good episodes, so it's fine.
I might have chased a fantasy monster once or twice.
That's pretty cool. I mean, maybe without green screens back then. Not sure how.
But like you come in and I feel like that to me has always been something like Brian Cranston on Seinfeld. Before Breaking Bad, no one really knew who Brian Cranston was, but like I did because I remember Seinfeld. I remember when he was on Murder Sheet. I remember when he was on all these shows and such. And like it was something special there, like when you saw somebody recognize him. Yeah, that's awesome. And you are one of those, their name. I know Brian Krause's name.
Wow.
And I feel like that's a level that not many make.
Yeah, really.
It's I'm blessed. And I guess it started from the first project. I mean, from Return to the Blue Lagoon, which the late Frank Price, and when we made that is, I remember I got called into his office before we started filming, and he was like, "Okay, Brian, good to see you." He goes, "Are you ready for everybody in America to know your name?" I'm 21. I'm like, no. I got a life to live, buddy. Like, I didn't really understand, right? I didn't understand. And bam, throw you into the spotlight, do all the morning shows, and it just like, I had I was so immature to handle it, and then that with Sleepwalkers, and then Another World did the same thing, and then Charm did the same thing, and it was like, I mean, I'm literally too immature to handle it. Like, I have no idea how that, and so when I see a guy like Leonardo DiCaprio start at 14 and really handle all of that fame and still be a good actor, I mean, what a balance. It's rare that you take somebody young and throw fame at them, and they can still sustain, a level lifestyle, friendships, do good work, and a lot of those things affected me along the way. But I mean, I don't even know what to think about it. I guess I always look at it as just I want to work as an actor for the rest of my life. I don't care if I'm famous. I don't care if I make $1 billion. I'll take a few $100 million, but I'll take one. But I just want to work. I love doing what I do, and it's amazing that that's come with a bit of a name, a little bit of a celebrity status. I mean.
And fans.
Which is just weird. It's weird.
I got it, man.
It's weird.
There's nothing like someone when I was a bartender coming up and saying, "I only want drinks from you."
You're the best, yeah.
It's just I always enjoy and relish in being able to give praise to people who deserve it. And as someone who I think has done a fantastic job with what you put before you, it's radical, man. I really appreciate
me, like when I was a bartender and they would walk up and say, "Hey, I only want drinks from him."
Yeah, every time.
Like that's fine. I'm gonna go take a smoke break.
Yeah, exactly.
It just means I have to do more work.
I guess there's two sides of it too. It's like, it's a Brian Krause movie. He's in it. I don't know if he fits. And it's a piece of getting, I guess, typecast, or we all are a type. Oh no, is he? And so trying to get those roles as I age, and we all do. It's hopefully getting roles that like, okay, oh my gosh, he did something so different than what I saw in this or that or this or that. That it can keep going, because oftentimes I run into casting or producers like, he's not right. It's like, well, oh no, he's that. It's like, I'm not that, but I've played a lot of that role. The dad, the nice guy, the concern, you know what I mean? So I am that in their worlds, and maybe to audience as well. So, to keep going, it's I'll never stop trying. But
and I'm sure there's got to be some roadblocks along the way. Like you said, there's got to be those situations where you even question yourself sometimes. You're got to struggle with that, man.
I think we all question ourselves.
I'm doing this right.
Yeah, he's the only one doing it right.
I do life perfectly.
I'm on the air constantly, like, am I doing this right? What's going on?
Never been sad, always happy.
Yeah, constantly. I've never seen a down day ever.
Let's bring it in.
Yeah. With being like the horror convention and having done horror like Sleepwalkers, it's like iconic.
Yeah,
that's what's such a bonkers movie.
With Alice Creek too. I mean, come on, she's fantastic. That was awesome.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
she's. Again, I was 22, and here's this, mid-30s-year-old woman who's been award-winning movies, done Shakespeare all over the world, and then you get this kid from Orange County, California, like, hey, I can do this. It's like, I'm sure the director and everybody's like, Alice, could you carry this scene? We're going to cut to him when he's smiling, but it's about just do your thing. You know what I mean?
Just keep rolling.
Yeah. And then we're going to bring in Ron Perlman, and he's going to do his thing.
Yeah.
And then we're going to bring in this other star. The kid's cute, but come on.
It's all right. He's gonna be the one who will later teach a young man how to never approach women. It was the best line I could have ever learned from Sleepwalkers. Apparently, they don't like when you try to steal their life force.
No, they don't like that.
It's awkward.
But I mean, Alice was so giving and into it, and we'd sit down, we'd talk about character, and things I had never really learned in acting class I went to, and it was really all about just connecting and being in it together, and as long as we believed together, then we were creating it. And man, I'd love to work with her again. She's a brilliant actress and human. I mean, I think I've met a lot of women actresses that at that point, working with some fresh-faced kid, they'd have been like, who is like, no, I'm not. What is this movie I'm doing? Like, get this kid out of here. Bring in an actor. Right. Like, what? And they didn't. And Mick was great, and everybody was just willing to give me a chance. And I mean, I don't know what you
enjoyed the movie.
You made a great product.
Touched by an angel. There.
That's all you ever need is just something that people appreciate and like. Now, whether we appreciate and like it 20 years later, because maybe it's something you missed. But you have just such that body of work and so many fantastic things within it.
Thanks.
That, I mean, it's just a constant thing to be able to draw from. I mean, it's fantastic. And the fact you want to keep going with Cypher, which looks awesome.
Cypher would be great.
Just constantly pushing, and it's great to see that. Any other projects that you're working on or anything you want to bring up, throw out there?
With Cypher, man. Got a movie I'm going to go shoot next week called Desecration. Jamie Bernadette, I don't know if you know that name. She was I Spit on Your Grave, 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
the second, the sequel. When she wrote this movie, she's director debut. So we're going to go down and help her out with that. It's about sexual abuse, child abuse, a mother and a daughter, and how they try to survive and how they kind of survive. And I'm, Uncle Jimmy, who's, the most unlikely guy to help her out in this situation.
That's cool. That's
I'm
a fun
shoulder,
twist.
so.
The same thing we've seen over and over again.
I'm
So it's
fucking
nice to
Leo.
have that be there.
Let's be real. Jamie, I'm Leo, right? Come on.
Oh, man.
Call me Jimmy. Well, it doesn't matter. Yeah. She's like, typing, I need a Leo. I'll do your movie.
No, see, being the unlikely one, I hope it's like you're drunk.
It's a great story. And
something that really connects.
Yeah.
Because especially after 2020, I think we've all been able to reach out to people that we may not have thought before. And we've learned a lot about our friend groups, about our friendships, and really focusing on the relationships that are important. So that's
and I think in filmmaking, I feel the same way. I've done a lot of indies and a lot of things that I think people who had done Sleepwalkers or Charm, they don't go do. They think you got to stay on this path and do these A movies, otherwise you're going to be that guy. And it's like, nah, I think it's all about doing everything you can. Like, I love to work, and I understand the idea of, don't do a low budget, don't do a horror, don't do a sci-fi, don't do anything. And I'm like, man, it's a popcorn movie.
Right.
It's fun. Right. I have a friend that's in it, making it, that wants, if I can be in it and help their movie succeed, what? Is my ego? Oh, no, I'm a star. I don't do that crap. Like, dude, I'll come in, whatever. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, it's freaking radical.
It's funny you say that because, like, last year I do a top 20 every year of my favorite movies of the year. And all of them, except for one, were independent films. Low budget independent films. And that's, of course, I understand because the theaters were closed and stuff, but it made me build an awareness to out. Like, I always love indie films, but to push everybody and be like, stop worrying about what's going to come out on the big screen, like the big budget movies. You'll see them. Go see these.
Yeah.
Right.
These deserve to shine. They're what were keeping you entertained when everybody else was taking their movies and
right.
them away.
Yeah, being jerks about it. Like, oh, no movie theaters. All right, we're halting distribution. Like, junk like that versus people who have passion, people who really have a purpose, people who are trying and, working towards it. So why not? That's what everyone does. Everyone scraps and claws through all of it. So, if you can support somebody along the way, do it.
Absolutely. There used to be a hierarchy, and I think it still exists a bit. Like, if you did films, feature films, you didn't do TV, you didn't do commercials. You did TV, you do TV. You probably wouldn't do commercials and you're a commercial guy, So it was like, oh, you can't do that if you do this, and once you do that, you better not go back to that. And it's like, man, I've started a feature film, I started a show, I did a soap, I've been in a sci-fi thing. It's like, let's just work, man. Like, and especially when this guy wrote this thing and he sold his bus so he could get a camera package, and he just believes. And it's like, oh man, I love that passion. Let's go. Why he doesn't have to be Steven Spielberg. I mean,
or he may be the next one. You never know.
You never
There's
know.
Too many ways to roll
It's
the
just
dice, you know?
fun. Come on,
We talked about
acting's
it,
fun.
And if you've only got one shot on this earth, do what's fun. Am I
Actors
right?
act. They don't wait for the next project that's going to pay them $5 million.
Right.
I mean, unless you're a superstar. Like, come on, man.
Which is what, about 2% of
I mean,
the population of actors? I mean,
Not even that.
Yeah.
I mean,
there was a movie that came out last year called Cosmos. Nobody's really heard of it. It's on streaming for free. It was made for $6,000 by two brothers who paid for it themselves. They saved up their money by working. They got three friends who are actors to come out and do it. It's better than it's shot better, and it's acted better or just as well as anything else I saw last year or a few years before.
wow.
It's it's a story of friendship. It's a science fiction tale, and it's just very minimal, but the whole thing from beginning to end for the 2 hours, I'm in.
Wow.
And yeah, it's just I try to put it out there, but again, it's that indie spirit that I say, like you say, like people. There's a heart behind that.
Right.
You know, you don't see that in a lot of the big budget companies. It's not the real heart. Like, you see some cool stuff.
Oh, of course.
Don't get me wrong.
You see stuff,
Right.
it's just not hearts. It might be guts and explosions and other things. But
Yeah, but you don't see that heart. Like, you see, like, what went into the film when you watch some of these.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that. And, you know, I've obviously done things for a payday as well. Like, oh, man, I'm struggling right now. Like, oh, shit, you would pay me how much to be in what?
okay.
I love your movie.
Because you get to play fun roles.
Yeah. Yes, I really get into it. Yeah.
I want people to, you know, like for me, I'm always like the guys next door. It's a fun movie, Bloody Summer Camp.
Yeah.
You know, but now they're having their world premiere night. They're enjoying it. They're having a great time. They have Felissa Rose there. They're all in Seventh Heaven. You know?
Yeah.
Good for them. They went out and they did it and they got it done. That's what I'm passionate about.
And that's why it's fantastic to hear that you are the same way. That you are as passionate about your job, your work.
I love acting. Acting's fun. Filmmaking's fun. It's a great way to tell a story. I mean, I think it's as old as humans, sitting around the campfire, you know, telling a story. You know, we've always done it. You know,
Absolutely.
always.
Man, fire, meat.
Now,
That's
And it's
pretty much
funny, you know, when
what's
I was a kid, I would have temper tantrums, and I don't know, I had issues, and I'd kick my feet on the floor and cry. And my dad's like, "You should be an actor, as dramatic as you are." I'm like, well, here I am.
yes! That means my son's going to be a star.
You're welcome.
Yes. I can't. Brian, this has been amazing.
This is awesome, man. Thank you for popping on.
Oh, of course.
I really appreciate it.
You're
fantastic.
man. And we're so excited to even just meet you. So,
Yeah.
like, just to
Thanks.
talk with us, we truly appreciate it.
Yeah. Quick story. Last night, I was hanging out and I got introduced to Brian.
That was a good story.
So I turned around and just freaked out, but internally. As the lady who's running there goes, "Oh, have you met Brian yet?" I was like, "Oh, no, I haven't. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?" You know, just played it off totally cool. The moment he walked out of the room, I was just like, "Oh!"
He texted me because I'm back in the room and like I'm editing some stuff and I'm going to sleep, and he's just like, "Hey, man, I met Brian Krause." Awesome, dude. I am exhausted.
Yeah, he was asleep. He was.
I'm nothing against you.
No,
I
he
was
was
just like, because I have a staghorn kidney stone right now.
Oh,
I'm getting surgery next week, so I was like, I'm going to bed. It's like I'm in pain all day. We were just like sitting down. I was like, I would love to go out with you and hang out, but I gotta go to sleep.
Yeah,
but that is great for you.
Yeah. Very bad. Very bad.
congratulations.
But I was like, fine, I'll stay here. I'll be responsible, not pass out.
Well, we are super excited for your future projects as well.
Thanks.
A lot of great things coming from Cypher and anything else you've got coming.
Man, I can't wait. I look forward to, you know, as we all come out of this pandemic and getting back to work and getting amongst people and, you know, being here at Fear Fest is just a blessing. You know, I didn't know when it was going to happen and be around people again. And I'm just so, I can't stop smiling all day. I'm like, people! Oh my God, it's you. How are you? We're getting you look at hugs, pictures. Yes. Like,
Actually, we've been asking everybody,
That's
and
awesome.
we gotta know. Because horror movie edition, we usually ask like everybody's favorite movie drop, remote dropper movies. If it's on TV, they got to watch it. What are some of your favorite horror?
Horror. Man. You know, it's tough. Horror scares me.
Okay.
I'll just tell you, I can't get into a lot of it because I get a little. It's scary. I mean, I grew up in the 80s, right? The Halloweens and stuff, all of that. Jason and, I think, The Exorcist probably the scariest movie I've ever seen in my life when I was 7.
Oh, God. It's 7?
Thanks, Dad. Yeah.
Best callback ever. That all the time.
Oh, my God. Can you just say, listen to the scene?
You could say, just listen to the Scene Snobs and figure it out. That'd be rad.
Oh, my God.
Listen to the Scene Snobs. Thanks, Dad.
That is amazing. I love that. I'm just isolating that from me.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
I like what Tarantino does with the blood, and I know it's not horror, but him, Rodriguez, they have a, you mix a good story in with blood, and it's Tarantino's funny with blood. He's funny with blood. It's like okay, he's bleeding. No, but he's bleeding. blood. And I think that's fun.
Absolutely.
The Conjuring freaks me out, man. I come on.
He showed me that movie for the first time, and he like turns off all the lights because we're
no.
What are you doing, man? And then we watch it, and I'm like, I've watched horror movies my whole life.
Nope.
And you're gonna try and give me a heart attack with this one because it was a truly
anything where I got to turn the lights off and pace around my house, I'm not gonna watch it. But then I can't take my eyes off it, right? Like, what is happening? What is happening? That's why I like a little comedy and mixed in with my horror, right?
Yeah, agree. Yeah, like Dale and Tucker versus Eve. Something along those lines where there's humor to it. There's jokes along the way. You're putting tropes on their heads. Yeah.
Not trying to freak me
all day long.
Yeah.
Kathy,
and I don't do devil stuff.
Yeah, well, fan.
I don't blame you.
Freaks me
I grew
out.
up a Catholic. I don't mess around. Kathy, Melissa, and Alexian are all saying hello. They can't wait to meet you tomorrow.
Fantastic. Look forward to meeting you guys too. Thanks.
Yes, so thank you guys. This has been so much fun.
This has been awesome. This has been radical.
You're awesome, man.
Best capper ever.
You guys are awesome.
Oh, no, come on. We're just
I like how he's like, oh no. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah,
I got what I wanted to hear.
That's all he wanted. That's what he was looking for.
Thank you. He isn't, but I know I am.
He's amazing. Yeah,
I love this guy, but you know what, man? I'm living the awesome life. Brian Krause just gave me the endorsement. I'm set for life.
He's the guy. He's the guy.
You should have accepted it. That's
well, I'm not going to accept it.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, Dad. Oh, dude. Thanks, Dad.
I love it. Oh, you're the man.
Brian,
awesome.
Righteous, man. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Anytime.
Yes.
We love
Absolutely. Be well.
So I just leave the headphones here?
No, you can just set those right down. Yeah, awesome.
I pantomimed.
And see.
This is
awesome.
Thank you, sir, so much. You're the
Thank you, man. Awesome. We'll catch y'all. That tickle.